Hello everyone.
Hey, welcome back.
Today's we're gonna have a different video. We're celebrating our 500,000 subscribers.
Obviously, we had no idea when we started in Brazil that it would be like this. So we have to thank you so much for watching. If you're subscribed, if you ever leave a comment, because of you, we're able to do this. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really because of you guys that we're able to have these amazing life experiences, and it's always a pleasure to share them with you all.
So we asked you to send us some questions, and we got some really good ones.
We're gonna jump into the questions that you guys sent us, but if you haven't watched our previous video, we highly recommend you to do that. Otherwise, you're gonna be a little lost, wondering where we are, how the hell did we get here. We're gonna leave the link to our previous video in the description below. First question: how did you guys ultimately decide to travel and vlog? It started years and years ago. Kidding, around 5 years ago.
It actually started when we went to Thailand. We took our little GoPro 3 and our selfie stick and just recorded. I wanted something to do like creative, so I asked Bernardo if he wanted to do like a YouTube, and he said, probably not.
Not my thing. I felt like you wanted to share part of your story. One of the biggest videos, I think, at the beginning was your coming out story.
That's the one I knew that I wanted to do, and we just started to incorporate like going to the plant store, holidays, birthdays. It's really nice that we can go back and look at those, even though sometimes they're a little cringeworthy, but it is fun.
Some of them are so cringe.
So we can't even watch them.
No, we don't. Like,
Nope.
if we see them, we just skip.
When you look back at your very first video and you think about the person you were then, what is the most significant change in you as a person since that time, and to what do you attribute the change? Obviously, when we first started recording, I really had no idea who I was. I thought I knew, but I really did not know. I didn't allow myself to really, I don't know, just sit in silence to really understand who I really was. And I attribute the change, obviously I think the most important is my path crossed with Dr. Solomon. I think having a husband who is very supportive and understanding, same with my parents. And I would also say, I think nature has really helped a lot in just sitting with the silence. And I often have to say, myself. I like to figure things out. And so I think that this has helped me in this, journey of understanding who I am.
I think it's very clear, at least for me, that I am much more confident nowadays than I was before. I hated having a camera in front of me. Many times, even before YouTube, when you would record stuff, because that would usually be you, and you would point the camera at me. Many times I would laugh, but inside I was screaming like, don't point this thing at me, turn it away. Because I felt very, vulnerable. I did not like that feeling. Back then I kind of wanted to be invisible. I didn't want to really be seen, and I probably didn't think I deserved to be seen or heard, or I probably didn't think I had anything to really share, maybe. And I think that's grown, and as I've been learning more about myself, I can see now that, I might have one or two things to share. What do I attribute this change to is, I think, YouTube. It was really a safe way for me to express myself by talking without having an audience right in front of me. And of course, doing all the inner work that we're doing now. Do you guys ever talk about going back to Brazil, or is that something that never really crosses your minds?
Oh, it crosses our mind.
I think that's something that deep down we're always going to be divided about whether we want to stay here or we want to go back to Brazil. And maybe that's something very common for anyone who leaves their home country.
Yeah.
I'm sure in Brazil you would always probably think if you should come back to the US or not.
I personally would really love to live where we would go see the waterfall, Chapada dos Veadeiros.
That's something we talk about sometimes.
Not all the time, but many times, because it was just a place where, I don't know, we didn't even know at the time that it would kind of be like our thing, but it was just a place where we could refresh and then go back into the city. But yeah, I think it's always going to be divided about, oh, let's go back to Brazil, you know, Brazil, the food, the culture, their little speedo. Now that you've experienced living with snow, ice, and freezing temperatures while being a resident and not just a visitor, are you still thinking of settling down in the area that has true winter?
That's the thing. We do also love the 4 seasons.
I didn't know I would really like snow and winter this much, but I fell in love with it. Especially watching the lake freeze.
Yeah.
And it just seeing the snow fall in a place that feels like your home was very cozy. We would love to stay in the New England region, but probably we're gonna have to go back to the Pacific Northwest because of insurance purposes. I know if you're not living in the US, it's a little difficult to understand, but because Dr. Solomon's in Oregon, we're probably gonna have to go back to Pacific Northwest where she is covered, so it won't be so expensive. Oh Lordy Jesus, that question.
Is it possible to talk about Anitta's concert before you officially met?
It's not possible, sorry.
That was kind of a weird encounter.
Oh yeah, we were surprised someone asked that.
Yeah, someone remembered that.
Yeah, whoever asked that, you have a good memory.
Better than ours. Yeah, that's actually the first place where we saw each other in person.
Yeah, we were talking on Instagram and obviously on WhatsApp before. I didn't know he was going to be at Anitta's concert. You didn't know I was going to be there. We just saw each other. I was coming out of the porta potty.
And I was in a line. And then I looked to the side and there he was. And then we were like, whoa.
I was doing my addiction. I felt ashamed and embarrassed because I was a little high. And I didn't
notice.
I don't even know what I said. Can't even remember.
I can't remember how
but
the
it was
conversation.
very short.
It was very fast. It was very fast because he was with his friends. I was with my friends. But not long after that, we met in a coffee shop.
Yeah, thankfully you still agreed to.
I didn't even notice. Like.
But that's what happened. Real quick to thank Ekster for sponsoring this video and for these extremely smart, easy to use wallets that we carry with us everywhere. Ekster's mission is simple: to make good looking gear that saves you time. For me, I don't like to carry around a bifold wallet because they're big and bulky and then they're just not the easiest to use. We've had these wallets for over a year now. I have to say, they're easier to use and harder to lose. I tend to misplace my wallet, I'd say, quite a few times. So one thing I love about this wallet is if I can't find it, I just need to use my phone to beep it, or I can see the last place I had it on this map. The wallet tracker, which is solar powered and the size of a credit card, can be put in the wallet or in any bag. This has saved me a lot of time and I'd say a few arguments. The wallets are simple, lightweight, and with a push of a button, it fans out the cards like a switchblade. The reactions I get from this range from amazement all the way to do that again. This makes it easier for me to choose the card that I want, and it holds the other cards in place so the others won't fall out. If I want to add more cards or bills, I can just use this expandable strap. Even better, Ekster invests in the creation and discovery of innovative materials and using solar panels instead of batteries. We highly recommend these good-looking wallets that are going to save you some time. Trust me. Go to www.shop.ekster.com/steps and get up to 15% off site-wide, or click the link below. Now let's go back to those questions. Tell us about some of your jealous moments. Those jealous moments are not my happiest moments in life, especially we have them recorded on some of the jealous moments from our, I don't know, previous Q&As.
You guys probably remember the titty boy.
It's a good thing because he has a really nice chest. And at the beginning I said to Bernardo, I was like, do you think he has a nice chest? Oh yes, beautiful, it's big, it's everything. Titty boy and, Polly Want a Cracker.
I have a nickname.
Yes, I
Polly Want a Cracker.
His name was Paul and his nickname was Polly Want a Cracker because he looked like a cracker. Because of curly hair.
Oh yeah, Polly Want a Cracker.
I was probably extremely jealous in Brazil and in Portland.
But things have changed so much in that regard.
It was a lot of insecurity with me. So obviously doing this work with Dr. Solomon and therapy, I've realized there's no reason to be jealous. So that actually has subsided.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
And just for the record, Titty Boy, he had a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend, and he would go to the gym with his girlfriend.
But also, Titty Boy lived in a place that had pink walls. So I don't really know if that was really his girlfriend. He did.
He did.
He did.
And there were some flirty things
So,
on the couch.
I don't know if that was his girlfriend. Hollywood or Cracker? I don't know. He's in Brazil.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Adam, I noticed how you're growing your hair out and your beard as well in a few of your last videos that you've put up. How does you growing your hair out make you feel, and what does Bernardo think about it?
I've had the same hairstyle since I was a little kid, parting it on the side or spiking it up. And I made the decision when I was working on the inner part of me, I wanted to have like a drastic hairstyle change, and I always wanted to grow my hair out. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna grow it out. And so when I look in the mirror, it looks like I'm looking at someone like a different version of Adam than I was in the past.
How do I feel about it?
How do you feel about it?
How long? Oh my god! If you do that, I will cut it. Like seriously. Would you?
I like it. I personally like long hair.
Like seriously. Would you?
It's almost in a ponytail. I
Yeah.
just these little sides.
I think especially when when it gets really long and you can really put it on a ponytail. I think it's sexy and I like it. And if he wants to express his individuality that way, like, I fully support him.
Ooh, this is a deep one, but this comes from my sister Lindsay. What's your purpose in life?
To be honest, I don't have a clear answer to that. And that's something that I've been working on, probably related to creativity, but that's something that I'm still trying to figure out.
My purpose in life is I would love to help people. It sounds cheesy, but I think I've always wanted to do this as a kid. I didn't know how, but now going through all of this stuff, I would like to give people hope, because I think we've both been through situations where we could help people in actually different situations, because we grew up, different countries, different
backgrounds.
homes. Yeah,
sure.
I really was inspired with Dr. Solomon and how she's able to really help me find the light in me, and I think I would like to do that for other people, because she's made a huge impact in my life.
Being so nomadic and moving around to different places, does it ever get lonely living in new places where you don't have friends and family nearby?
Nope, not at all.
I think we have different perspectives about this. I do miss, I don't know, feeling like we have roots somewhere, and I do miss having deeper connections with people. I feel like ever since we left Brazil, I haven't really made a lot of connections here in the US, and I really miss that, and sometimes it does feel lonely,
And
even though we have each other.
for me, I do not feel lonely. I enjoy the quietness, not a lot of people nearby, but I'm learning that that's probably because of my anxiety. I would love to live in a cabin far away from everyone, just the two of us, collect our own water, and not go to the grocery store. But I'm learning
Grow
that
our own food, so we don't even have to go to the grocery store.
see no one. But I'm learning that is because of my anxiety. So I'm hoping, in the next place that we live, that we can start, having our own tribes and, having friends.
How do you take care of yourself physically, traveling so much?
So that's a good question.
That's really, really hard, right? I think it was one of the biggest challenges while we were traveling in those 4 months. We really didn't have easy access to a gym. So we really had to come to terms with the fact that we wouldn't be able to work out as much as we were used to. we would walk a lot.
We would walk, yeah.
Each place.
Because I think in Brazil, in Portland, I was really obsessed with having all the right meals, working out all the time, doing a lot of cardio, because I was preparing for the competitions, and then that
I would just really follow you.
I wasn't really listening to my body, and everything was already planned of what I was going to do. So it just became very obsessive for me, and it wasn't. I mean, in rehab, I learned that, you know, going on in the future, that wouldn't be good for me.
My hopes for the next place that we're going to live in is having a gym close by, because I do miss that a lot. It does affect my mood, not moving my body as much as I used to. Now that you guys are back in the US, are you planning to expand the family and adopt a dog? I think after Panama, we saw how much we really want to have a dog.
And how the dog would really kind of affect our moods.
Anytime when we were feeling down or things would get stressful, we saw Bennett, our moods would instantly change, and we would get calmer, and
her
eyes, and it's just a really good company, right?
Yeah, she would kind of bring us back to the present moment.
But it's also a little hard for us because we're gonna be renting, and not every place accepts a dog,
right?
Or cats or any animals. So
cats,
we're gonna have to see.
I don't think we're gonna adopt a cat. I think it would be.
I think you're still come around about a cat, and then we'll have a dog and a cat.
We already know that Adam had a rough spot in his past, but has Bernardo had a rough spot in his past?
I don't really go into many details about my childhood or my teenage years, but I did have my share of rough spots. I've mentioned this here before, I believe, but my dad, he was alcoholic. So the house that I grew up in, the environment, there was a lot of conflict, a lot of fights. Growing up in this type of environment can be very challenging. And then you add up to that the fact that I was gay. I was always mediating fights. I was always putting other people's needs first.
Yeah.
I was always playing the supportive person type of role. And that I've been carrying this throughout my whole life and throughout many of my relationships. A part of that shows empathy, and it's a side that I do want to nurture, but there's also another side of that it's not so good because I don't put my needs first. I'm willing to make any sacrifices related to my well-being. And I grew up not really knowing who I am. And I think people who's grown up in a house with an alcoholic, they might understand better what I'm talking about. Good? I hope this made any sense. What is your most memorable moment from your travels in the past 4 months? Every single day, my mind would be like amazed by Lake Atitlan. Every day was, I don't know, I just felt so impressed with everything, all the surroundings. If I had to pick one moment, I would say during the hike. When we reached the top, when we got to the summit, I would think that moment was like, wow, we did it. And the view was just really amazing.
I think in Guatemala, that was coming from Mexico. I think the mornings were very calm, and this is when we really connected in the mornings because we would have coffee. We would, look at the clouds and see like Atitlan. So I think that brought us close, really close in the morning, which started the day off right.
While traveling, have you ever felt discriminated for being gay or a gay couple? We were cautious about where we would show affection, and there were places we wouldn't really show affection at all. But I never felt like threatened. I never felt uncomfortable.
Unfortunately, probably where I've felt that we were discriminated was, I would say, in my hometown, Leesburg. The church where I grew up in told my older sister to love us from afar. And for me, that was probably the biggest discrimination I think we've felt.
Yeah.
So it wasn't when we were traveling, but it was actually in my hometown. Leesburg. Vocês ainda falam em português?
Muito raramente. De vez em quando a gente fala safado.
Lindo, gostoso.
Yeah, lindo is a good. Yeah, pra elogiar um ao outro ou pra tirar sarro da cara um do outro.
Quando Bernardo está em casa falado, eu falo gostoso. Quando a gente viajando e pessoas falam inglês, a gente fala em português.
Yeah. Se a gente quer falar alguma coisa que a outra pessoa não pode escutar, a gente fala em português. I love your challenge videos. Whoop, whoop. When can we see one again? I laugh harder than Bernardo. I don't even laugh today.
I'm so sorry. I think just a little. I love the challenge videos.
He loves the challenge videos, and even though I do laugh a lot while we record them, I'm not the biggest fan of the challenge videos, and I really just don't see how they would go with our channel. Adam has a different opinion for sure.
No, I mean, I like the cute couple poses. I like the yoga challenge one. I like the ones where we can laugh. And I think those are just, and it's just like spontaneous. It's not like, obviously you can't plan it. It just happens. Like the one where we're in the quarantine house, you know, like where, like that was just, it was fun. But I don't know if we're gonna make any more.
We're a little too old for that.
We're not sure. Undecided.
Undecided. This is a light one. What are your biggest passions besides traveling? And how do you implement them into your always on the run lifestyle? I think we're very lucky because I know that both of us enjoy this, but we both get to integrate this passion of ours very easily to our daily lives, which is making videos. That's an obvious one, I think. Through YouTube, I was able to really work on my creative side or express my creative side, which is something I had never done before. I never saw myself as a creative person, and I really got into it, like photography and videography. And I would say another passion of mine really is writing. It's a way for me to make sense of the world, make sense of things, to really express myself in a way that sometimes I find it hard to express when I'm speaking. It's much easier for me to write something than to speak about something.
I used to really love singing as a little boy. Then I went to school for musical theater, but I've kind of, you know, put that aside, especially when I went to Brazil, and now, especially with the anxiety, it's hard for me to do it, because you've never heard me sing.
Never sang to me.
Yeah, so I'm
still waiting.
A passion of mine would sing with a guitar and learn how to play the guitar and to write music, because I think I would be able to, I don't know, convey a lot of my feelings through music. So that's one thing I would like to do, but I do also love, you know, to video and to photograph as well, but I really love flying the drone.
Oh, he does love flying the drone. It takes like 20,000 shots, and then we have to go through all of them to put the video together.
Yeah, especially the last one.
How do you manage to still keep your individuality while living together and sharing practically so much of yourselves with one another? Maybe we should start with the toothbrush, because the yellow one is mine and the green one is his. Guess what? He uses like whichever.
Because sometimes I leave mine in the shower. I don't want to go get it.
So he uses mine. So mine gets like...
So we really do everything together. We work together, we do YouTube together, work at that fitness company together.
It can be tricky. Things can get a little mixed up sometimes. And that's something we're having the chance to work more on as we do therapies and we do all this inner work. We're two individuals with different stories. We're here to support each other, but still we're two individuals.
We have different music taste, different taste in movies. We dress differently because I could wear the same thing. You like to change it up. When we video,
Our shots
I-
are very different.
yeah.
Our eyes are very different.
And the taste in music that we put in our videos, they're
Sometimes
very
it goes
different.
a little bit too dramatic, and I'm like, this is not a funeral, this is a YouTube video.
And his is just out there. Like, I don't even know how to explain. But I think probably I'm a little bit more spiritual. I think just with how I was raised. I think that's also makes us, you know, a little different individually. You're
Yeah.
spiritual.
I am spiritual, but I would say I'm more of a logical person, maybe. I don't go to extremes, I think.
I do.
Yeah.
Even the ideas. And you bring me back.
I'm trying.
How do you twerk?
You're still trying to twerk.
Wait. Baby, there are people's. Don't clap. Babe.
Culturally, we're different, especially kind of how you are with your family and how I am with my family. You and your sister, just your relationship, I think it's something cultural. Like it's very different and sweet to see.
Has there ever been a moment where your relationship, your marriage has been tested? A couple of times.
Oh, I wouldn't say a couple, I would say more than a couple.
More than a couple of times.
I would definitely say we've had marital problems, relationship problems.
Our relationship has gone through a lot of changes, like throughout the years.
Oh, it's like night and day from Brazil.
Every change requires adaptation, and adaptation requires work.
I would say kind of how we argue, obviously this is how we were, I don't know, kind of brought up as kids. I like to isolate, you like to talk about it right then and there.
Right away, like, let's fix this.
And this makes us clash because we're opposite in that way. Now that I'm not numbing myself, I'm more present. It has made it harder to be, I would say, physically intimate with you.
Yeah, I would say intimate, like, in
Overall.
general, overall, the difficulty in intimacy, it's all related to past traumas. So
Yeah.
it's something that it's not simple.
Can you describe the famous proposal in your own words? We saw a few moments, but how was it really?
Okay, let's go to a live one.
I'm glad we came. Aren't you glad? Oh.
That was
I-
the sweetest thing ever. Like, that was very sweet.
We took the train.
I never thought I would cry in that type of situation. Because I've seen videos of people like proposing to, you know, and then the other person crying, and I never really understood that, and I never thought I would. I don't think I would ever cry. But then there I was crying.
I remember I was going to do it the day before, but I had forgotten the ring. We walked into this park.
Wow.
I think we had the snowball fight.
And the park is, it was pretty. Like, yeah, it's like a movie.
And then it just started snowing.
Yeah, like, what are the odds?
Set
I mean, it
the
was
camera-
Leavenworth, so
Yeah,
the
well,
odds were like,
I set the camera down. Obviously, I was nervous because I didn't know if he was going to say yes. Didn't know what hand, what knee. Then when it happened, then I was like, oh, I can breathe and I can enjoy.
yeah.
Perfect.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was special.
It was special. It was very, very special. That's
Yeah.
the thing about him. Even the simplest moments, he has the gift of making them like special. which is
I couldn't control the snow, but thank you, whoever.
If you were to give one piece of advice as to how well your relationship works, what would it be and why? I would say the willingness to work together. Kind of have an open mind when you go into a relationship or into a marriage. Don't think that everything is going to be already figured out or everything's going to be perfect. Just be aware that a lot of changes are going to come. Changes in the dynamic of the relationship, changes in your partner, changes in yourself.
I actually thought that when I, met Bernardo, I thought I'd be happy and in the marriage it'd make me happy, but it's not like that. It takes a lot of communication, I would say effort, I said listening, right? 'Cause listening's important.
Listening is important.
Yeah, and just know that there are going to be ups and downs, because I thought if you have an argument, then that means divorce, but it's not like that. There are going to be problems in the marriage, but you work on those together and it brings you closer.
I hope you all got to know us a little better through all these questions. Even though we've been posting videos for, I don't know, 5 years now, there's a lot more that happened in our lives, right? There's a lot more behind the scenes.
And thank you for being our therapist for today.
Oh, yeah.
We need to pay you.
This did feel like a therapy session.
And remember, we will also be posting some extra questions on our Patreon page. That's where you can support us if you wish. And we'll also be doing monthly live Zoom chats, which
Extra
are really
material.
fun.
Do you realize that you introduced 500,000 people around the world, Bernardo, to your mom, and that we all know about her now?
They're really fun.
Materials.
Yeah, materials. So
Yeah, we'll leave the link down below to our
And-
Patreon page.
hope to see you there. And remember to go out
Make memories.
and 1 million. Here we come. It took us
long ways to go.
It took
long
us
ways to
5 years to get here, so
5 more years.
We'll be in wheelchairs. Share.
We'll be in wheelchairs.
We won't be in wheelchairs. We'll be. Wait, I'm 38. 39, 44, 42, 43.
So let's speed this up. Like, help us. Like, share our videos. Like, please help us.
43. That's young. We're still children. Okay.
Well, why did you have to do the math anyways?
What? Because I wanted to see how old I
Just
was
say
going to
it
be.
out loud to everyone.
You'll be what? 49?
No.
I'm older than him.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
We're testing this.
Oops. You always do that.
Hello, we're testing this. Hopefully this works. The tea is getting a little cold. There's a lot of smoke with the incense. Oh, I need some peace. Peace.
Okay. No, they're yours.
What?
They are yours.
You've had them under here.
They're yours, and you know.
I didn't want it to be too tight.
It's a little tight.
Your seat, okay? Did I hit record?
Meu Deus, de novo.
Should I be like this way or? I don't know. But,
It's good, like
okay.
a little.
They are.
Just a little.
I'm nervous. You're a little hungry? We got a few more questions.
We do. You did that like 4 times.
I put it in different places.